Oh my gosh, it wasn't even set up. This is not an OBS thing. I'm Microsoft. Okay, there we go. All right, we got that set up. Give me a moment to get to my chat. There we go. Okay. Turn that off. All right. Cool. So last time I dropped off, we have this dashboard, as I explained in the other ones, goals per game. I need to do something about this, but I'm going to do that at a later date. That's kind of a... I got to figure out a solution to get that to change colors. I think I have a solution, but I want to test it out. So we got goals divided by goals per game. So this is average goals per game. Ovechkin ripping it with a 0.76. He's scoring in a lot of games. Braden Point up there as well. So I also added this. It's also conditionally formatted. I'm not crazy about like the white. Like I wish Power BI would give you the option to change these white things. You know, to change the lines. Excel has a huge, like they're very good at it, but Power BI just, I feel like there's still some things about Power BI that needs to be customizable. I just feel like there needs to be a little bit more customization as far as the actual, you know, even just these lines right here. That's huge. Anyways, enough of my little rant right there. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get some data today. Basically what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be pulling, oh, that's the music. We've got the 24-25 schedule right here on Hockey Reference. And what we need to do is turn this into a, you know, get this into Power BI. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to take this right here. We're going to bring it into PowerQuery. And then in PowerQuery, since this is visitor home, we need a column that is just for teams. So every team. So basically there needs to be 2 entries for each game because you need to have the team and the opponent. It doesn't matter if the visitor or home. So like this Jersey Devils game, you know, New Jersey Devils and Buffalo Sabres game, we need 2 of those entries for the same one so that the Buffalo Sabres are here. Because when we go into Power BI, it's, you know, the way that this dashboard works, whoops, let's get out of this. The way that the dashboard works is that it's filtered by team. So everything has to be kind of, you know, set to a team. So if we do it just like this, we just be getting, you know, visiting schedules and stuff like that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and bring this in. We're gonna copy this web address right here. We're gonna go into web and get data. Cool. We're gonna paste that right in there, and it should hook up. There might be just some data cleaning that we have to do. We'll see. Because there's some things we don't need. Like we don't need the attendance. I don't, you know, for the type of dashboard that we're making here, it doesn't really matter. All right. So we see that there's a bunch of tables that came up. We've got the Pacific Division, you know, it looks like they've got some queries. There's some other tables on the pages. I don't know, but it looks like they've got some other tables. It looks like some game tables. So that's interesting. Let's just take a look right now. Let's see what they got. Oh, what is this? Oh, it's the same. It's the same information. Just no columns. Yeah, bunch of tables. But this is the one I believe that we're going to be looking for is the 2025 NHL regular season schedule table. Yeah, we're definitely going to have this because you see right here, columns. You know, the headers are basically columns and we need to move the columns up. So we're going to check this. And we're going to go to transform data. Cool. And that should bring up PowerQuery. So I'll bring it up right here. Sweet. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to update the first row as headers. There we go. We'll do that. There we go. Okay, cool. We got everything in our PowerQuery. So first thing we're going to do think we want to, I don't know if we want to copy it first. No, let's just try it right here. So I'm just going to rename all these to lowercase, I don't know. And then we're also going to change the values of those as well, but we'll go through those. Goals 4. Home is going to be opponent. We're going to do goals against. And then this one. Yeah, so there's some missing values here. Oh, it's overtime shootout, because we're going to need that if we're going to calculate. If we wanted to make a table, based on how many points, we've obviously have to write a formula to count that. Attendance, I don't think we really need. Yeah, this is not that type. Maybe another time. Length of game, I don't think that's really. I mean, how's it fixing it? I just don't see. I don't know. We'll keep it for right now. I don't know how this is going to. And then the notes, we don't need to know that it's in Prague or anything like that. Okay, so we'll remove that. Next thing we'll want to do is you'll see here when we start changing the values, there's these date, time, visitor. Basically, the headers kind of right here you see on the page, the headers just keep coming. And it's a way to kind of, I guess, maybe freeze it for them. So we need to get rid of those. So we'll take care of this. Let's go back to PowerQuery. And let's start changing these values, and you'll start seeing like we'll get a red line underneath. So we'll go date here. There we go. And then you'll see here we get these errors, and there's that red line, pretty much saying, hey, some of these are errors. Time, we're going to just do time. Excellent, excellent. Team is that. We're going to do whole numbers for these. Whole numbers, that's fine. Let me see what happens if I change this to time. Let's see if I replace values, if it no. We're just going to turn that back to text for right now. We can look into that later. Replace current. Yeah, for right now, we can keep that there, but we don't really need it. All right, so now we got to get rid of these errors. So what we'll do is we'll just hit remove errors. We'll go up to the date, hit right click, hit remove errors. There you go. Done. And now all those pesky headers are gone. Cool. All right, so we got our first one. Is there anything else that we need to clean first? No, it doesn't look like it. All right, so we're all good here. So now what we want to do is we want to duplicate this. And we're going to put this as 2025 home. Or no, we're going to say that's away. Because I believe it was, yeah, away was first. So this one, we're going to change this up to go opponent. Just going to change this to op real quick. And we'll change this for goals against. GA. We'll put this as team. Change this back to opponent. Goals for. Goals. 4, and then goals, whoops, against. Cool. And we'll even move these over here just for the sheer look of it. We'll put this as we'll rename this as 2025 home. I forgot. There's a way to combine them, and I forgot how. Like a union in SQL. So we're gonna, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna take a quick look because I forgot, to be honest with you. PowerQuery union to queries. Just see what comes up. Combine multiple queries. Merge. That's correct. Okay, merge. Okay. So something so simple that I just didn't. Oh, okay, here it is. Merge queries. We're gonna do a full hour. Huh. Oh, do I need to select? Oh, okay. Let's see what this gives us. That's not what I was looking for. That's the skater stats. Huh. Well, let's refresh that first. Interesting. Is it append? Does append? Oh, okay. I think it's append. Point append queries as new. All right, let's see. This may have just done it right here. Sending. I meant to do descending. Wow. Okay. There we go. That's it. And then we just append that. I thought I did something like way crazier last time, but yeah. So we basically took the 25 away. You know, the full schedule. We made it into two, one for the home teams and one for the away teams. We forgot to put that on there. That's another thing we want to add on here. So we're going to do a, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do a new column, custom column, and we're going to indicate whether the team is a home or away. So home, away, and we're going to, since we know all these teams were away, it's just going to be, we're just going to put away. Hit OK. There we go. So now we've got all of our away teams. You know, all these teams played away. So we're going to do the same thing, but for the home one, we're going to do home. And so we'll get a custom column going. And then we are going to do home, away. And this one will be home. Hit OK. Sweet. So now we've got our home and away. Let's get rid of this append. And we'll do it one more time. Oh, I did it. It did it on its own, and I didn't. So we'll append these queries again, and we'll do. Oh shoot, we wanted to do it as a new one. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to append queries as new. There we go. I didn't want to put them in the same one. All right, so we'll do this again. Sort it by ascending so that we get the soonest date first, or the latest date first, excuse me. All right, sweet. So we got home away, home away, home away, home away. We're going to go ahead and rename this. Let's just go take a sip. 2024, 2025 schedule. Awesome. Awesome. All right, so now from here, I want to make some custom columns because I want to determine if the team actually won. And we can do goal differential and stuff like that. So we'll do that now. So again, we're going to go to a new column and we're going to do a custom column. And this one we're going to call result. And then we are going to do... should I do this in the columns or should I do this here? Because I forgot if... Yeah, let's do this in column. We'll do it in PowerBi. It's a little bit easier. All right, so let's just keep it like that. We'll do all of our calculations in PowerBi instead. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. OT shootout. I don't know. We can always append it when we go back. We'll just leave it as it is right now. I'm thinking about turning this to a binary where it's, true. But I'd also want to know, like, did they go to a shootout or was it one in OT? There might be some data there that we might want to use or might want to use. Okay, so we're going to close and apply this, and we've got our schedule all set up. Sweet. We're going to let these changes apply. I'm going to take another sip of my Canada Dry. And we're also going to hide in the home and away so that we don't see them. Even though they're still going to be there, we're going to, so this one, we're going to hide that. And then we're going to hide our home because all of our information is right here in one space. We're going to, just to kind of fit we're going to put that to a lowercase. All right, so let's go into the data of home and away. Where did our scores go? Well, that's interesting. Let's try something real quick. Oh, you know why? Dory. We haven't made a relationship yet. Okay, so these are hidden. We don't really need these. Go away. Go away. So we want to make the connection. You see here, these are my connections. The teams will serve as the center point, while the skaters, everything feeds into the teams. So we want to go here and we want to go to team and make that connection right there. Perfect. One to one, many to one. Our schedule has many, teams has one. We'll hit OK. Cool. And we'll go back to this. We're going to go for goals 4. Well, that's interesting. It's got one more goal than our team. We'll have to look into that. That's interesting. Is there any other teams like that? Or is that just... There's one missing there. 3 missing there. That's interesting. We'll have to investigate that a little bit more. The fact that the goals for on the schedule and the goals for on the skater stats are not matching, and they should. They should. So we'll take a look into that later. Right now, what I want to do is I want to calculate wins and losses. So we want to go back to this, and obviously we can't see it, but the data is there. We can see it's there. Again, I'll drag it in. So we'll go goals against this time. And they have 100 goals against. So the data is there. I don't know why Power BI is not showing this. It's quite strange, but the data is there. So we're gonna press forward. The fact that the data is there and it's not showing here, I don't know what the deal is with that. But whoops, got LinkedIn job report. So it's kind of weird. I don't know, but maybe that's just a Power BI UI thing. I don't know. So we're just going to press on, like I said, and we're going to create some custom columns here in Power BI rather than PowerQuery. The reason for this is just a little bit more simple. And it's easier to write with DAX than it is. I'm not as familiar with PowerQuery custom columns type stuff. I can do basic, like, goal differential, adding and subtracting and stuff like that. But the if stuff is where I get kind of a little bit. All right, so we've got to write a DAX formula to determine who was the winner. So we're going to name this result. And we're going to write an if statement. And it's going to have a couple, it's going to be a nested if statement. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to, we're going to basically write out a DAX formula to determine, because in hockey, if you're not really super familiar with hockey, there's OT and shootouts. If a game goes to OT, the losing team gets a point. So we need to calculate that. So it's not just like, oh, if it's more than this, So actually for wins, yeah, over time. But we do want to calculate points. How many points that they've given up. So all said and done. Okay, if goals for is greater than goals against for the 2024-25 season, then win. If not, loss. Okay, so that's weird. So something weird is going on here because these are not all losses. The date is there. Maybe we will have to do this in PowerQuery if it's doing this. Let's take a look. I want to see something real quick. Data not showing in Power BI, but will come up on graphs. One of the primary data formatting problems. See real quick. I just want to take a look. Huh. Refreshing the data was the first thing. Let's do that. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe because we didn't refresh. This is strange. We're gonna refresh it. This is strange. The data's there. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Shoot. So this is interesting. Let's see if I turn this to text, see what happens. But those aren't showing up either. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Replace current. So we're going to do a Google search on this. I'm curious. Let's apply these changes. There we go. Oh, wait. Because these haven't... Oh my gosh. I'm so stupid. These games haven't... Sometimes you can just run around in circles. Those games haven't been played yet. That's why they're not showing up. Those games haven't been played. Okay. Okay. We're back to this. All right. So now we've got another kind of thing that we need to deal with, because we've got all these games played, but we've got the full schedule and there's no games played. So I don't know how we'll write the if formula for the put result, and we'll write the if formula because I think if it's null, if null, we'll have to put something. Okay, so we're gonna go back to what we were doing. Goals for is more than goals against. It's a win. If not, it's a loss. We'll put that in there. Cool. So I think there's an if null. Is there an if null? No. No, I'll just write another if goals then let's try that. So basically, oh, we can't equal that. That's right. Try that, less than 0. I don't know if that's gonna. No. What if I did it by date? If date. No, I want the. Yes, that's what I want. It's greater than today. Or it's less than today. For it's greater than goals against win loss. Coming. Let's try that. Okay, cool. So this way that we've got a way to understand how many games are left. So basically, I'll walk you kind of through this formula that I wrote. So basically, we did an if function. We did 2 if functions. One's nested. So this is saying, you know, for the column result, if the 2024-25 scheduled date is less than today, then the value, if true, is if the 20. So if it's less than today, then the true. Then it's true. Then the true kind of function is. So if that's true, then this happens. If the 2024, then it basically does the count for wins and losses. So if goals for is bigger than goals against, they get a win. If it's smaller, they get a loss. But if it's neither of those, if it's false, it's upcoming. So it's kind of a nested file. I don't know if I explained that correctly, but you kind of get the point. So we're going to do something kind of similar to this. We're going to calculate points that they got. Okay, so we're going to do a new column. And we're going to go points. Gained. No, we'll just put points for right now. If, okay, so did I copy that? No. We'll rewrite it. If, date is less than today, then if, so here we got to do some, this one's a pretty simple one. Goals for, so we need to calculate for the wins. Goals for is greater than goals against. Oh, wait, we need to create an and. No, we don't have to do an and because if it's greater than, it doesn't matter. They get 3 points either way. 3. Okay, so if it's not that, so if we so we want to do an and for the losses, or no, we want to do an and. If and goals for is less than goals against and trying to think, like, should I separate OT and shootouts in their own columns? Like, should I just have, did this go to OT and did this go to shootout? Because a shootout or OT doesn't really have any bearing on the points, because you're going to get, if you lose in an OT or a shootout, it doesn't matter, you lose 1 point. And if you win, no matter what, you get 3 points. So if and goals against and OT equals. Can I do another? Can I do another? No. I need to do another and right here. Oh no, I need to do an or right here. Or 2020 OT equals SO. Hold on, I'm way overthinking this. Hold on. All right, so well, the points, if they're 0, they're not going to really matter. Okay. So we don't need to whether if it's today or not, because the zeros really aren't, I mean, okay. Points. Okay. If goals for is greater than goals against 3. If and let's try this one more time. See, now I'm wondering, like, to make it easier, do I just notate that it's OT or shootout and then I'll just do this. There's less than goals against and or OT equals OT up OT shootout equals SO one 0. That should be right? Okay, cool. That works. Like, we wouldn't be able to average the... Well, I guess we would, but it would just be based off of 82 games. Like I was thinking like we could do like average points per game. I don't know. We're gonna change this to points gained. Then we're gonna make a new column and we're gonna get a goal differential. So this one's real easy. We're gonna call it goal diff. Yeah, I know. Not gold. F diff. So we're gonna do goals for, subtract goals against. That one's easy. To. Okay, cool. 2-6-0 games. Jeez. Oh wait, that was. Oh wait, no, that was 2-6-0 games. That's crazy. All right, so we got our goal differential, our points gained, our results, whether they won or lost, whether they're home or away. Still a little. I think we're just gonna leave this as for right now. I gotta figure it out. If that may not even come into the dashboard though. I don't know if we're gonna usually use that. All right, so what I want to do now is let's see if this goes in 4. Yeah, it's still off. We got to look into that. That's kind of a weird thing. Carolina is the same. Calgary's 3 off. That's an interesting type of thing. 2 off for Buffalo. It's Vancouver. 1's off for Vancouver. Utah is on. So some of them are on. And I got to do something about this Maple Leafs one. It's just, it's hard to see. There's some design elements I got to go through too. And I really got to like, I don't know. For these 2 colored teams, it's very hard to figure out like a third color. Because you want to kind of, I want to keep it to the same colors as the teams. But for teams like the Leafs and the Red Wings, where they really only have 2 colors, you know, add that gray in. I mean, that's the only color I could really think about. Maybe I'd do a black, but they don't really have those in their thing. So that presents a challenge. All right. So let's generate a record for them. Let's give them a record. So we're gonna just copy this and how are we going to do this? We've got results, wins, losses. There's got to be a sum. Like we've got to make like a measure or something. I mean, we could do something as easy as like, you know, if this says win, put 1, win, yeah, well, maybe let's just do that. Let's just the path of least resistance. You know, why do all these like crazy? Sometimes I'm like, well, I could sit here and research it, or I could just do this and hit win and then go results. So we can do an if statement. If results equals win, then 1, and then 0. Then we can do another column for losses. Same thing. Oh, you know what? Might be good to add in OT losses there. Yeah. I think we're going to do that after this. So we'll put in results equals, if result equals loss, then 1 and 0. We're going to go ahead and, yeah, we're going to change this. We're going to put this if. We're going to nest another if or OT SO equals OT or OTSO equals SO. OT loss, if not. I think that will be good. Yeah, no, I messed up. Okay. Okay, so this is... Let's drag this down. Ah, I messed up. I meant to knock it down on. This is not making it any easier. I got too many. I'm like nesting this shit. Okay, so if schedule is today. Okay, so that's the upcoming. This is the true statement. When. If. Okay, so true statement. False statement. I have to write this over. It's scheduled date today. If goals for, if false, if or. Yeah, there's an easier way to do it. I see it now. I see it now. Instead of just trying to, we can just do it instead of like creating this crazy function, DAX function, confusing myself. We're just going to go ahead. OTL. Loss. OTL. If loss equals 1, if and loss equals 1 and or OT shootout equals OT shootout equals shootout. Close that. Oh, I gotta close that. If true, it is 1. If false, it's 0. Okay, perfect. So there we go. We got our wins, losses, and overtime losses. And instead of doing some crazy, like, you know, figuring it out all, you know, right here, we just did it right here. There we go. We got points gained. Cool. So now we can make our little, you know, where we are as far as our record is. So let's get rid of that. And what we're going to do next, I'm going to do a measure. Do I still have that measure? No. Okay. So that went away. So what we're going to do is we're going to concatenate these three we're going to concatenate these three things. You know, the wins, losses, and then the overtime losses. And what I'm going to do is overtime losses. What are we going to call this? Okay, so we'll call this record. And then we're going to do concatenate. I think we have to do a couple concatenates here. I think we have to nest our concatenates. I don't know why Power BI just doesn't do a concatenate throughout. It's like, let me do it like Excel. Let me like put as many concatenations as I want. But for whatever reason, it limits us to 2 text strings. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to concatenate. What do we want first? So we want the wins first. Oh, it's just not going to let me do it. Maybe it's not a measure. What is it? Huh. I mean, there's a couple ways that we could do this, but I really want to make it so it's one concatenation. But I wouldn't make a new column for it, so I have to make a measure. Let's check something real quick. Measure concatenation. Concatenate. I always forget how to spell it. Power BI. There we go. Selected value. Okay, cool. So we want to do that. So this is how we kind of want to set it up. So measure 3, concatenate, and then we want to do selected value, then select our value, then oh, they add a little and there. Okay. Can I do that? And let's check that. Let's try that out. Screw it. All right. So we're going to do new measure. We're going to do record. And then we're going to concatenate. Selected value. Selected value. We want wins. Win. Do I have to do concatenate again? Concatenate. We want to put a dash in between them, and then we want to do concatenate. There's got to be like let me see something. And concatenate and selected value. Let's see. Let's try this real quick. See what happens. Yeah, minimum arguments 2. Okay. So I'm going to rewrite this. Selected value. We're going to do wins. Concatenate. Concatenate. I don't know if there's an easier way. If anyone knows that there's an easier way on this, please let me know, because I am concatenate. Concatenate. Selected value. OTL. OTL. Yes, it is OTL. See if it works. Oh, might not. Maybe that's it. Okay, so. Interesting. Do I need to sum everything? Let's delete this for a moment. You know what? Let's close this PowerQuery up too. This is bugging me. Close it and apply it. Wins measure. Sum all. Shoot, I forgot how to do this. When? I mean, there's a way I could do. I wish concatenation wasn't so goddamn hard on this thing. Was that because I did a... Oh. Let's try it here on the measure. Because I think that was in a column. I was in order. It's so hard. It's like, it's not... Sum all wins. Win? It is a column. Am I just overthinking this? I might be just overthinking. Okay, there's... We're going to call this win measure. Sometimes you get caught up in like, did I do this right? Did I think about it? Like sometimes you just overthink this stuff. So we're going to do a lose measure. Plus measure. And then we're going to do some loss. There we go. Then I can figure out how to concatenate it. All right, we're going to do one more measure. We're going to do the overtime loss measure to create those. So basically what happened is you have to kind of create measures. And I don't know if maybe there's an easier way to do this, but you have to create measures to where like, you know, you sum up all the ones of the same type of thing. So in this case, it's summing up, you know, all the stuff based on the filters, and there's 22 wins for the Tampa Bay Lightning, you know, and basically getting that so that we can then create a record. I think with these three measures, we should be able to concatenate and create something. I've got to really, I forgot how to like, so we'll put record here. We're going to go wins, measure. let's try this. I want to see if this works. Loss measure, and so maybe this will just solve our problems right here. OTL measure. Ah! Let me double check this. Is the lightning record 22? Before we move on, let's double check this. So let's go to the standings. 22, 15, and 2. Ah, it's got 17. 22, 15, and 2. So where's the extra loss? Bruins are 20, 24, and 5. So it's adding 5 losses. Why is it adding losses? Oh, I see now. Okay. I see what's going on now. Now it's saying it's counting the overtime losses, and now we need it to not count the overtime losses. So we need to rewrite this so that it doesn't count overtime losses. It just counts regular it just counts regulation losses. So if result equals loss and so we need to do an and if it's loss and OT SO equals blank. Then 1 and 0. There it goes. So we don't want loss 1. We want if and goals against. Oh, wait, we just want result loss. Result loss equals loss. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the Bruins. 5. Okay, so let's take a look back at this. We'll turn our filters back off. All right, sweet. So 2019 and 5. Let's refresh it real quick just in case. 2019 and 5 are the Bruins. Is that correct? 2019 5. Cool. We'll double check that with a couple other teams just to make sure that is correct. Taking a minute to load. It's got a lot to load in. Okay, so the record's 2019 and 5. Let's see the Buffalo Sabres, Carolina Hurricanes, Chicago Blackhawks, Colorado Avalanche. let's do a color. Color is 26, 16, and 1. Is that correct? Or are they 26, 16, and 1? All right, cool. Awesome. Well, I think that's a good place to start or stop for right now. I got to get some other stuff done. Yeah, to summarize, we brought in the whole schedule from a hockey reference, brought it in by the schedule results. We used PowerQuery to clean it up. Not so much clean up, but we also added some stuff. We've written some DAX functions, and I feel like this is a pretty good place to stop for right now. And I'll be back with more of these. I'm going to try and be a little bit more, proactive in doing this stuff. And I hope you enjoyed. If you do, please leave a like. Please subscribe. It helps. I'm a very small creator, so any little bit helps. And I appreciate you coming on this journey with me through data analysis. So with that, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next stream.